Hey guys, back at it again. Today I'm gonna review Predator 2. I guess I'll start out with the first time that I saw it. So the first time I saw Predator 2, um, it was about halfway through the movie. My mom was watching it in her room. I came in and it was the King Willie scene. For those who haven't seen the movie yet, the King Willie scene is Danny Glover's character Harrigan, and this is right when I'm coming in a room at like 5 years old. So Danny Glover's character Harrigan, he has a meeting with this I guess a kingpin drug lord in this back alley. So they're talking. Danny Glover's trying to get some information to see if the guy knows what's going on, and the drug kingpin, King Willie, he believes that it's a ghost that's taking out like drug dealers, and I think at that point, at that point, yeah, it was just drug dealers, and Harrigan's best friend slash fellow cop, Danny. So it's probably one of the scariest scenes in movies. Danny Glover, I guess he's not getting the information he wants, so he leaves. Not even a minute after that, the Predator, he starts throwing some boxes off of this building. And after he throws like two or three boxes, the Predator jumps off that building. He lands in the water. At first, he's invisible, walking up to King Willie. And then he stands in front of King Willie, terrifying. And the King Willie guy, he gets ready. And then the next scene, it's just, you don't see like them fight or anything. Just King Willie's head decapitated in the Predator's hand. And I guess he was screaming before he killed him. And you just see like his mouth open and looks terrified. Anyway, yeah, so I finished watching the movie. I don't know why. I probably didn't sleep good for like the next like 4 or 5 years after seeing that scene. Yeah, whatever. I grew up in Kansas and Arkansas. Um, when I lived in Arkansas for 3 years, behind my house it was nothing but like forest for a few miles to the east, west, and north of my house. It was nothing but forest for like blocks. So sometimes I'd be like out playing in the forest as a kid, and you could see like the heat. Like, oh my God, is there a predator out there? Or, just being alone in the forest as a kid. Sometimes I'd be like, oh, what if I'm being hunted? But anyway, so the movie's basically the same as the first Predator. Um, the Predator is looking for like a worthy opponent, and instead of being in the jungle, you're in Los Angeles in 1997. I think the movie was made in 1992, but for some strange reason, they wanted the movie in the not too distant future. And basically, it's the Predator picking off Harrigan, Danny Clever's character. I know I've said that like 3 times already, but yeah, it's the Predator picking off his fellow cops and basically like antagonizing him, possibly so he could get like the best out of whatever character whatever person he's picking off. So he could get the best fight out of them, since he's like saving them for last. Because at any point in time, well, there's probably a dozen scenes in the movie to where it's like the predator is like right there, or he would have to be nearby for the things that he does. For him to know like where Danny Glover is and where the other cops are, he'd have to be like listening into what Harrigan is saying. So yeah, that's basically a summary of the movie. The Predator picking off Harrigan's coworkers one by one. My favorite scenes of the movie: King Willie's death. I described that a minute ago. You know, really scary scene. The warehouse fight between, at first, Gary Busey's character. Oh man, I forgot his name. I should have wrote it down. He leads some, like a group of like, I don't think they say. He has a office in the, I guess, police department where Danny Glover works, but I don't recall them saying exactly what his job title is. Anyway, so he leads like a group of guys into this warehouse because they want to catch the predator. That's a great show, by the way. And he leads them in there, and he thinks he has like all the bases covered. He's gonna like they put this radioactive spray in order for the predator to be visible, and then they're wearing these suits that like mask their body heat. So, and then they have like these ultraviolet lights in the building, but for some strange reason, they have these big, huge like lights on their shoulders, lights on their guns, and having lights that big, they're gonna generate a decent amount of heat, especially over time. So, they covered all their bases except for that, and they end up getting killed all by the predator. Well, we think Gary Busey gets killed, but he pops back up and then gets cut in half. Uh, so yeah, but it was a really good fight scene. It was scary. A lot of tension is built through that fight scene, and it was really good. Probably another one of my favorite scenes is the train scene. So somehow the predator is able to track Leona and man, I forgot his name. Oh, Bill Paxton. I remember his name, but I forgot his name in the movie. Oh man, I hate when I do that. So he's able to track Leona and Bill Paxton's characters to this train, and on the train, it's like chaos. There's like a gang. They're robbing some people on the train, and everyone on the train is armed. So when the gang members are trying to rob the people on the train, like everyone pulls out a gun. So the predator ends up making his way like inside the train, and it's scary because towards the end of that train fight, Bill Paxton's like on the last cart, and Fiona, she's getting all the people off the train. Anyway, so Bill Paxton's like shooting the predator, and it's like not doing anything, and it's slowly walking towards him. It's pretty scary, man, if you haven't seen the movie. Then after the predator kills him, Fiona, she gets everyone off the train. She, I guess goes to look for her partner. And while she's looking for him, the predator sneaks up. Well, actually, she finds his body, and then the predator sneaks up and grabs her from behind, and he uses his infrared vision in order to see that she's pregnant, and then I guess he just kind of lets her go. But it's pretty pretty scary scene, like how he sneaks up on her and everything. Uh, Another one of my favorite scenes from the movie is when Danny gets killed. So Danny, he goes to investigate a crime scene, and while he's investigating, he sees that the predator has left a weapon in this vent, like above, like the apartment. Like there's like this like crawl space above. Anyway, so the Danny goes up there, and when he goes up there, the predator startles him, and then goes to. And then he gets, he gets scared. He almost falls out of the crawl space, and while he's falling, he manages to like grab the predator's arm, even though it's invisible, and then it becomes visible, and it's like real scary. Uh, Something that's kind of funny about that scene is, so Danny's like begging for his life, and you hear him get off a couple of shots. Somehow his necklace manages to come off. When his necklace comes off, it falls to the ground. Like seconds after that, just like the tiniest little like drops of blood kind of fall onto his necklace, and it's like, if he's really just getting like torn apart up there, you would think there would be more than just like this little trickle down of blood. And the blood, it looks pretty fake too, but yeah. Then what's another one of my favorite scenes? Probably would have to be with Danny Glover. He's tracking the predator right after the predator ripped out like Bill's character's spine in order to like add it to his collection. So after he rips out his spine and his skull, Danny Glover sees him and he starts to pursue him. While he's pursuing him, this reporter comes up and he's like, "Hey, Harrigan, what are you doing? Are you beating more? People up? What's going on?" And Danny Glover just hits him with a straight right. The camera goes flying. And then he's just like, "F you." And it's just kind of funny. Another thing I noticed, like, we get a scene to where the predator is doing first aid on himself in this movie. We got a scene like that in the first movie too, and then in Prey we have a scene where the predator is doing first aid on himself. I really like those scenes. It kind of like shows that it's not invincible, um, and you get to see more of the predator's tech. And it's like, where are those scenes in like the other Predator movies, especially Predators? I thought that was interesting, and yeah, they should do that in all Predator movies. I like the different tech that it uses. Um, Another thing I noticed is like the Predator is hunting these cops through the city. The predator only sees in infrared. So many people in the city. How would it know? Like, I guess it will follow them home, but how does it really know like how a person like looks if not only is there so many other people, but it really can't see like someone's face. I mean, I realize it has like future tech, but to like hunt, you know, four people in a city of, 10 million. It's like, I mean, I know all the 10 million aren't consolidated to like, three blocks or something like that, but, you know, still, how are you seeing their faces or knowing what they look like if, you really can't make out their face because it's only like the heat, their heat, you know? Um, what else can I say about this movie? Danny Glover, he's really intense in this movie. Well, I've seen him in other movies where he's pretty intense, and I'd say this is one of the most intense movies. There's this one scene. Oh, it's probably one of my favorite scenes too, to where Danny Glover sees Gary Busey, and he follows him, and they have a little bit of a back and forth, and Danny Glover slams him against this wall. It's a pretty intense scene. And after the scene, if you really look at Gary Busey's character, he's like out of breath. So it's pretty intense. Um, Probably one of my favorite movies with Gary Busey is Surviving the Game. He tells the story about when he was a kid, and like his dad had this dog that he ended up having to kill. I guess it was like his dad trying to make him like a man. It was a really good scene. Nothing like what he does in this movie, but I just so whenever I think of Gary Busey, I always think of that scene. It's so good. The end of the movie. Um, I guess you could say Danny Glover. Well, here again, he uses like his street smarts in order to beat the Predator. He kind of like plays dead and kills the Predator with his own like little smart disc, which was cool. That would have been cool if like we would have been able to see like the Predator use that more. He uses it one time, and then later on he falls off a building, and then Danny Glover is able to get it. But I would just like to have seen the Predator use it more. It's pretty cool. Like he throws it and it comes back to him. I think the reason why he wasn't able to call it back when Danny Glover has it in his possession is because Danny Glover chopped off his hand, and maybe that's how he was able to like call it back and forth. Uh, but yeah, then a bunch of predators come out, and Danny Glover is just like, who's next? I imagine myself in like that scenario, and I would just be like so terrified. I don't even think I'd be able to move. But yeah. Oh, we see a xenomorph skull to show like the aliens that inhabit the ship. I guess they've killed xenomorphs, and oh, in the newer movies they should show like the predator kills some of the um, I guess game that it's killed that it put in the trophy room in this movie. That'd be pretty cool. Like showing the predators cleaning like skulls of like those creatures, and then like we almost get like we see how those came to be on the wall. What else can I say about this movie? Um, yeah, it was really good. If you haven't seen it, check it out. Thanks, guys. I'll catch you on the next one.